You're going to be getting there really early in the morning. It's really dark. Maritzburg is pretty damn cold, so you do want to dress warmly. And actually, importantly, when you get to the top of Polly Shorts, after all that climbing, you'll be quite hot. Just keep your warm stuff on, because when you get to the bottom of Polly Shorts, it's really cold down there. So that's where you actually want your warm stuff for. But anyway, you get to the start. It's really dark. Lots of spotlights around so people can see what they're doing. Really cool, loud music. Polly Shorts is roughly 7, maybe 8 kilometers in. And the important thing there is that if you look at that route profile, you'll notice that almost all the running to Polly Shorts will have been uphill. You'll then go down Polly's, up the back of Little Polly's, and then you go down Little Polly's, and that will take you to about 14-ish kilometers. And then from 14 k's, you pretty much climb to the high point on the route, which looks to be at about 22, 23 kilometers, and that is Umlaas Road. So essentially, by the time you get to Umlaas Road, as a novice, you're going to be pretty confused, possibly a little angry, and you're going to be asking people like, is this really the down run? The good news is that from there, the overall trend into halfway is down. So yes, there are a few little lumps and there's a little bit of up, but mostly the trend from 23 k's until Inchanga really is downhill. And so you will be able to start making up a bit of time there, but you don't want to be making up too much time, because you still want to be thinking conserve, and you want to be thinking about the second half of the race.
We fight the unknown on a journey back home. What's waiting, I don't know. I'm trying not to let go, but I will climb until I reach that side. I'll look back knowing I tried, and then I gave it up, I gave it up, I gave it up. But I will climb until I reach that side. I'll look back knowing I tried, and then I gave it up, I gave it up, I gave it up. I will climb. I will. We fight the Seems it never ends. We are learning since we began. What's coming next? Oh, I know that I'll give the best that I can. But I will climb until I reach that side. I'll look back knowing I tried, and then I gave it up, I gave it up, I gave it up. But I will climb until I reach that side. I'll look back knowing I tried, and then I gave it up, I gave it up, I gave it up.
which is a fairly tough little climb, but it's not too long on the down run anyway. And then there is a long run down in Chunga into Trent and the ceremonial halfway mark of 44.2 k's. You then hit, for me personally, some of the hardest running in any race that you'll run, any tar race that you'll run anywhere in the world. So from there, 44 k's, pretty much until 52 kilometers is tough going. You actually run 3 hills in one. So you run Drummond, which takes you up to the Wall of Honor, whereafter you get a short little break, and then you'll do Elverston, which is a really tough climb, where you'll get another little break thinking that you are near the top, and then finally you need to run Botha's Hill. And so from 44.2 k's all the way, so essentially 8 kilometers. Of that 8 kilometers, at least 6 of it is climbing, probably a little bit more. And so that is a section in the race where you've really got to look after your legs. And from a psychological point of view, I always paint myself the picture that Botha's Hill is halfway, and that from Botha's Hill I'm now on my way home. You will go down Botha's Hill. It's pretty steep. You have a whole lot of people cheering for you and shouting at you and telling you it's downhill from here. And as you hit the bottom of Botha's Hill, you realize that it's quite difficult to find an honest person in Natal, because you do go up a very steep little climb. And it's important that you know about it, not because it's so difficult, but because it does come at a point in the race where you are pretty tired. You certainly are sick of running uphill after that long climb out of halfway, and you've been told that it's downhill, and now you're confronted with this rather nasty climb. Tell yourself that it's normal to feel a bit tired at this point in the race. There's nothing abnormal about feeling a bit tired in the race. The important point is that once you get over that little crest, then you really do just have kilometers and kilometers and kilometers of really nice running. So essentially from 55 k's all the way to the bottom of Cadmium Hill, which is at about it's about 73, maybe just under 73 k's. So pretty much just shy of 20 kilometers of downhill. So once you get over that little lip, this is the part of the race where you want to get ahead of your pacing. Now that doesn't mean that you're going to put the foot down and race through 20 k's, but it does mean that you're going to pretty much run almost all of those 20 kilometers, because if you run almost all of those 20 kilometers, you are going to shove minutes into your little piggy bank that you can withdraw from later on as you get closer to Durban. Your crest, I must also give you a word of caution. Fields Hill itself is ridiculously steep. So there, you're going to run it. Of course you're going to run it, and you're going to use the gravity, so you are going to run faster, but you've just got to be careful that you don't scream down there and completely blow your tires. Because once you get into Pinetown, I apologize for any people from Pinetown that are listening, but it's really not the greatest part of Durban. So if you get in there and you're feeling terrible, and it's also the time where for the bulk of the field it's the hottest, you don't want to be feeling terrible there. So look after your legs down Fields Hill, nurse yourself through Pinetown, and then you get yourself to Cowies. Now, Cowies is one of those hills that we just walk. We don't think about it, we just walk, because what we want to be doing from this point on in the race is always saving our legs so that we can run downhill. So if you see anything that looks vaguely up, you just walk. Power walk, get over the top, and then you've got really fantastic running again from the other side of Cowie's all the way into Westville. At about 15 k's to go, somewhere around there, there's another little rise similar to what you had in Hillcrest at the foot of Bothers Hill. It does come as a little bit of a nasty surprise because you're just expecting to keep going down. Fifth cutting. Now, fifth cutting really on any other day of the week would not be a hill at all. But as I said, anything up, we'll just walk over the top of that, and then we run down again till you get to the Mayville on-ramp, which is probably the steepest hill you're going to run all day, but it's very short. So again, I use the word run, we probably won't run. You'll walk up that, then you hit the cement highway, the gateway to Durban. By this stage, you're probably quite sure that you'll finish, and you will have made decisions about what time you're willing to settle for, or if you want to dig really deep for yourself to get that medal, because there's still quite a lot of downhill running to be done. On the cement highway, you go up and then down a bit, up and then down a bit, but the overall trend is really still downhill until you get to Tollgate Bridge. The Tollgate Bridge, you're going to meet your first honest people in Durban, because they're going to tell you it's downhill from there, and they genuinely are right. There's a tiny little rise from the taxi rank up to the McDonald's intersection, but that's really not a hill. You'll sweep down from there to Kings Park, and luckily, if you've never run Comrades before, you won't be any the wiser. You won't know that you are running past the old finish line. But for those that have run Comrades before, that's going to be a little bit of a mental egg to swallow as you turn left in front of the old finish line and proceed straight down the road at 4 meters above sea level, and just keep going until you get to the Moses Mabhida Stadium.